The Moonflower and the Forest of Time. Once upon a time, in a kingdom nestled between the tallest mountains and the deepest valleys, there was a forest no one dared to enter. They called it the Forest of Time, for inside it time flowed strangely. A minute could last a day, or 100 years might pass in a blink. Villagers told tales of travelers who walked in as children and came out as old as oak trees, or never returned at all. But in the little village of Elara, there lived a curious girl named Elara. She had hair as dark as twilight and eyes that shimmered like starlight. Elara had grown up listening to the legends of the forest, but she was more curious than fearful. You see, her grandmother used to tell her stories of the Moonflower, a magical bloom that only opened once every 1,000 years, deep within the heart of the Forest of Time. The Moonflower, legend said, could grant one true wish, but only to someone with a heart pure and brave. Elara's village had been suffering for many years, crops failing, rivers drying up, and long winters that made even the sun forget how to shine. So one day, just before dawn, she packed a small satchel with bread, a silver compass, and her grandmother's old shawl, and without telling a soul, stepped into the forest. The moment her foot crossed the boundary, everything changed. The birdsong turned into echoes of distant lullabies. Trees twisted toward the sky like great green dancers, and glowing lights flickered in the mist. Time seemed to breathe differently inside. One moment felt like a lifetime, another vanished like a dream. As Elara walked, she met many strange creatures. First came a talking squirrel who wore spectacles and kept a tiny pocket watch. "Time's tricky here, young miss," he warned. "If you chase it, it runs. If you wait, it slips away. But if you walk with it, sometimes it listens." Elara thanked him and walked on. Next, she met a weeping willow that truly wept, great crystal tears that watered the glowing flowers below. "Why do you cry?" Elara asked gently. "Because I remember too much," the tree said in a voice like rustling parchment, "and yet forget the faces of those I loved." Elara placed her hand on its trunk. "I will remember you," she whispered, and the tree's tears slowed. Finally, after what felt like days and yet mere hours, Elara reached the center of the forest, where time hung still like a held breath. There, in the middle of a silver pond, grew the Moonflower. Its petals were closed tight, shimmering with a light that wasn't sunlight, more like moonlight in bloom. But between her and the flower stood a guardian, a tall figure cloaked in robes that shimmered like starlight and shadow. "Why have you come?" the guardian asked, though not unkindly. "To save my village," Elara replied. "They're suffering. They've forgotten what joy feels like. I wish to bring back the sun to our fields, the laughter to our hearts." The guardian studied her. "Many come seeking the flower's wish, but few understand its cost. A true wish requires a part of your soul, not to lose, but to give." "Then take what you need," Elara said without hesitation. The Moonflower began to bloom, petal by petal, glowing brighter with each word from her heart. When it fully opened, a single drop of silver light rose from its center and floated toward her. The light entered her chest, and she felt warmth, like every summer day she had ever known, surge through her. "Go," said the guardian. "The forest will carry you home." Elara blinked, and she was back at the village edge. To her surprise, flowers bloomed in fields that had been barren for years. The river bubbled nearby, full again. The sky held a golden hue she hadn't seen since childhood. The people were joyful. Children laughed, elders danced, and the air smelled like hope. They asked Elara what happened, but she only smiled and said, "Just a walk through the forest." And though she never returned to the Forest of Time, every full moon, a single silver flower would bloom outside her window, a quiet reminder of courage, sacrifice, and the strange magic of time. Moral of the story: sometimes the greatest magic comes not from wishing, but from giving. And the bravest hearts are those that walk forward, even when time itself is uncertain.